Today I'll show you how security configuration audit module works in Wazuh. So Wazuh has a configuration audit SIEM module, and it's like how we can continuously monitor the security configuration within our system to make sure those are meets our business requirement or regulatory requirement as well. Sometimes what happen, we have some configuration code error, like we can see clear password like in a text format, or maybe some configuration file has some code within it that password enable equal to yes, or maybe some sensitive information may be disposed. So in such situation, the configuration monitoring the security configuration audit will help us to identify those, and based on that we can remediate those, because Wazuh is a SIEM and it gives us visibility. So if we have visibility, we can solve the problem. So let's understand the security configuration audit has 4 parts. One is policy, and just a moment I will show you how a policy look like. So let's understand the policy section first. Policy has 4 sections: policy, requirement, variable and checks, but not all of them are required. So based on that, required are the policy part and the checks part, which is required. Apart from the requirement and variable, these 2 parts are optional. Remember this. And these are the fields we can use in the policy part. And just for your knowledge, I present a graphical representation here so that you can see from here, and as per this document you can definitely make your own customized policy. And in this video I will show you how to make the customized policy, and it will be actually very interesting thing. So this is the requirement part, which is not mandatory kind of thing, but if you use this kind of title, this kind of value, you need to mandatory fill the value is written this table. So variable section, the same thing, not mandatory, but the checks part here, it is actually the mandatory thing you need to enter with your policy, right? So these are the fields available for the Wazuh. Now let's understand how a policy look like. So this is a normal security configuration assessment policy. It look like same. See that this is the policy part, this is the requirement part. The policy part is 100% mandatory, requirement and variable parts are not mandatory, and the checks part are also mandatory. So this is a customized policy. So I will just a moment, I will make a policy and I will show you how policy security configuration assessment works. So let's go to Wazuh. So we are in Wazuh now. Let's go to active and let's go to our desktop Windows machine, and this configuration assessment part here we will going to see the configuration we will going to create. Let's go to our Windows agent and let's create a customized policy. So I would like to imagine a situation where one adversaries or maybe one attacker can get into one of the computer, one of the endpoint. They already got compromised, right? But from that computer they want to try a little lateral movement or parallel movement, east to west movement kind of thing. So now what they will do, either they need administration privilege or they will use PowerShell to run some commands. So PowerShell is very powerful indeed, and a lot of attackers, they use PowerShell to execute some of the commands. So let's assume they will open PowerShell. So PowerShell is a running process. So we need to identify that process. If administrator are using the PowerShell, that it is okay. But apart from administrator, no user generally use PowerShell. Maximum they use command prompt. But if they use PowerShell, that means they are doing something malicious thing, because they don't need to do actually. Whoever is configuring the system, they use PowerShell. So in our case, I will identify PowerShell process running in our background. Based on that, we will show an alert to the Wazuh security configuration assessment, and we can understand how it will impact to our system. So let's click the start menu and click here in the search bar and type CMD. Command prompt will open. Let the command prompt open as administrator. This is very important. So we need to create a directory first. Okay, so we will going to create a directory by using this command mkdir, and we will be creating a directory on C program files 86 OSEC agent and the directory name is custom SCA files. Okay, so let's press enter. Let's see whether our directory has been created or not. Let's go to my computer, C drive, and let's go to program file 86, then OSEC agent, and then see custom SCA files directory has already been created. Okay, now let's go to next. So let's open a notepad file and open this as administrator. Same thing you need to do. So I already have copied the configuration file, the policy file with me, and I will share this policy with you so that you don't need to type, because it's a big thing. I cannot show you by typing it here. So let's paste it here, and I will discuss and will tell you how it works. Policy has two things, which is mandatory, which is policy part, another is check part. Requirements part is not mandatory, optional. So I have used a rule here that this registry entry, software Microsoft Windows NT current version, product name is Windows 10. So what does it mean? So this requirement only check for Windows 10. So this is all about the requirement part. So I have mentioned here the rules. So rules is for the Windows 10. So this requirement are intended to check for the Windows 10 only. So let's go to the checks part, and what is here, it's PowerShell.exe. What does it mean? Rule 1004 will be triggered if it found the PowerShell exe either in background or in foreground, whatever it is. So rule 1004 will be triggered and it will check for PowerShell exe if it is found PowerShell exe in the background or foreground. And condition here none means it is ensured that if it find the PowerShell ID 1004, that means this scan result will be showing failed. Failed means it is not complying. So it checks for the Windows 10, number 1, and number 2, it will trigger 1004 if PowerShell exe found, and if it is found PowerShell exe in background or foreground, the scan result will be showing fail, and the condition is showing none for that. Okay, so now we need to save this file. So where we are going to save this? We will be going to save this file to the directory what we have created under OSEC agent custom SCA file, and save type will be all files, and we will be going to name this process check.yml. By default, Wazuh will detect YML or YAML extension file for the custom configuration assessment. Okay, so we will save this here. Let's save this file and let's check the directory again whether everything is okay. Let's open the directory. Let's go to the custom SCA file. See, process checks are there and the file type is YAML. It's very good. So this part is done. Let's go to OSEC agent again, and we need to edit the configuration file, OSEC configuration file. So open that and scroll down a little bit. So we have a SCS section here. Let's find out where is the SCS section. See, this is the security configuration assessment section. So we will be writing another rule here. So let's write down a rule. So it start with same thing, SCA, tag close, go to next line, tab or space, write down policies. Okay, tag close. Now go to next line. Okay, now here write policy enabled and set this to yes. Okay, now we need to set the path of the process check YAML file here. So how we are going to do this? Let's close this tag first. Now let's go to that location where we have saved this file. Copy this location, Control C, come to the OSEC configuration file and paste it here. Just remove the space. So what we have done, SCA policies enabled equal to yes, okay, tag close, and the process check YAML file location we have to give. So the file name was process check check.yml. Okay, so all done. Now let's close the policy tag here. Policy, okay, policy tag closed. Now close the policies tag which we have created earlier from here, I think. Yeah, policies, policies. Now close the SCA tag. SCA. We are all set. So we have closed SCA, we have closed policies, and we have closed the policy as well. Okay, now let's save this file. Save this file here. Okay, saved. Now restart the Wazuh agent. How we are going to restart? Go to command prompt and type here net stop Wazuh, and let's again type let's start Wazuh. So Wazuh is restarting now. So we need to use another command. So before that, let me go to the Wazuh dashboard and check what is the current situation. So let's click the active agent. Let's click the Windows agent and let's go to configuration assessment here. See, already detected. Windows already detected. Ensure PowerShell is not running on the endpoint, and it is showing pass because PowerShell is not running in the background. That is the reason it's showing pass. And we have said if the PowerShell is running, then the result will be showing failed. So trigger this rule triggered 1004, and the thing is we have our audit, our assessment has passed because the PowerShell is not running in the background. Now what I will do, I will run the PowerShell at the background again. So let's go to our Windows and use this command to run PowerShell in the background. So let's run it. So obviously after if you press enter, the command prompt will be closed automatically, but the PowerShell is running in the background. So now go to the Wazuh dashboard again and let's check what is the status now. Okay, let's refresh the page. And here it is SCA used to case detect running process. Now it is showing failed. See, now it is showing failed with the same ID 1004. So 1004 trigger to check if the PowerShell.exe is running on the background on Windows 10. Process is PowerShell exe. Result fail. Earlier we observed when the PowerShell was not running, scan was success, assessment scan was passed, but now the PowerShell exe is running on the background, so that is the reason it is showing failed. The remediation is also given, disable PowerShell for non-admin, because what happened, generally admin people use PowerShell for any configuration change. If the PowerShell is running on the client machine, user machine, that signifies that someone may be trying to access administrator privilege or some privilege escalation kind of thing, or can run some command with a high privilege. So generally what happened when the attacker try to move east west or laterally, so that time they use PowerShell this kind of command. So the use case will be, instead of PowerShell you can set nmap or any other port scanning tool or any other privilege escalation tool or hacking tool. You can set this process on the background. If Wazuh found any of them, then it will trigger an alert and it will show you the assessment failed. You have the full visibility to check. And also what you can do, you can get this alert on your Telegram also. So this is the way we can do SCA. I will show you another use case here which is also very interesting. So let's go to Windows machine again. Let's create another policy. Let's click Notepad with the administrative privilege and open PowerShell with admin privilege. What I am going to do, I am going to create a file with some configuration entries and save that file within C program files. So you can use this command here. So the main idea is to create a file, or definitely if you want you can create that file manually. There is no need of PowerShell to use that thing. But since I want to show you the PowerShell thing, that is the reason I open PowerShell. You can just go to the directory and create a file and create a text file, a configuration file, anything. So the main idea is Wazuh will check the configuration file, and if anything, any keyword they found based on your criteria, it will trigger an alert. So my criteria is, if within any configuration file, if we can found that password underscore enable equal to yes, then it will trigger us an alert. What happened? Let me show you. Okay, first enter this command here and it will create a file. So let's go to my computer, C drive, program files 86. I think program file, normal program file, not the 86 I have given. And see, this is the test file I have created here. Let's open this file. See, this is a config file. You can create any dummy file you want. And this is the second line. You can add as many lines as you want. And this password enable equal to yes, or password enable colon yes, whatever. So I will be use this keyword total, the password underscore enable colon yes. If anywhere within our monitor directory, monitor files, if these keywords are found, then Wazuh will trigger as an alert. So we will use this keyword. So you can use your keyword like if you have any sensitive information like Aadhaar number, social security number, whatever it is, and if it is there in the configuration file, so you can trigger the alerts also. So let me close this file again. So now come back to your notepad file, what we have opened earlier. Where is the notepad? Here is the notepad, and paste this configuration file. I will share the configuration file with you. Okay, so the policy part and the checks part are important. So see, we have set and requirement here. The directory, we have created the test file. Why I have given this? Because so the policy will run only if this file is present within this directory. So that is the requirement. If this file is not exist on this directory, this requirement will fail and the configuration scan will not process further. And after that, earlier we have used 1004 ID. This time we are using 1001. You can use your own set of IDs as you want, but make sure those are the unique, not used earlier. So the scan will check this directory for this file to find out anything within this keyword. The keyword we have set earlier, password enable yes, you can set your own keyword. So the main idea is the scan will check this folder directory. The first requirement is the scan will only run if it is found that this directory has this test file.txt exist. If it is not exist, the scan will never run. This is number one requirement. And the check is this scan will find this directory and this file for the string here or the keyword here, password enable colon yes. This is the condition, and condition none means the check will fail if it is found password enable yes. If there is no line of password enable yes, or there is no keyword like this check will pass. Security assessment test will pass, and if they found anything password enable yes, then this scan will be showing fail in our Wazuh dash. Okay, so now let's save this file to the same directory we have created earlier. Let's name it to keyword check.yml. Make sure you do the save type as all files and save this here, keyword check.yml. Okay, save. Now let's close this and let's go to OSEC config file again. OSEC config file again, and we have to write the same thing what we have done earlier. We will just copy and paste the thing and change the name. So let's copy the earlier entry we have created. We don't need to type again, and paste it here. Control V. Just change the file name. The process earlier was process check. Now this time keyword check. I think we have given keyword check. And now what we have to do, we have to restart the Wazuh service. Wazuh, and now restart. Now let's go to our Wazuh dashboard. I cannot see anything here. Let's refresh again. Let's refresh again. I think system is scanning, so that's the reason taking some time. Let's refresh again. Yes, now it is showing. See, keyword check with the ID 1001 and the scan status is showing failed because it found within our C program file test file.txt which we have created, and ensured password is disabled in the test configuration file. So the remediation they have already discussed, that disable password by setting the value password enable option to no. We have set this to yes intentionally to check whether Wazuh configuration assessment detects or not. So now it detected and it's triggered us with ID 1001 with the remediation also, and the description is also showing password is enabled in the test configuration file, and the parameter after scanning it checked and shows us the parameter what it is here. So we have created a rule that this rule will be triggered, this 101 scan ID will be triggered if this file test file.txt can be found within this directory with the content or the string password enable yes. It is showing based on this condition, it is showing us the result, and the scan status is showing failed. So this is the way you can do security configuration assessment. There's other test cases also. These are the customized security configuration assessment rules I will share those with you with the YouTube description. So please feel free to download and test it by yourself. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.